Good afternoon, everybody. Today we will discuss about the powers and functions of the President of India. Our President of India is one of the important person we are discussing and we are knowing about his powers and functions. So Article 52 to 78 deals about the powers and functions of the President of India. Article 52 to 78. So he is the first citizen of our country. Almost all the activities performed by our country with the name of President of India. Nominal executive powers exercised by the President of India in the name of President. Nominal executive powers. So either emergency powers, either any decision he can perform executive authority on the basis of the written advice of the Union Cabinet. Union Cabinet. So written advice of the Union Cabinet only he can declare war, etc. He can declare war, etc. The first president of our country is Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad. So he declared one tradition. He introduced one tradition. That is, no one should act as President of India not more than 2 times. Not more than 2 times. That we are following till today. Not more than 2 times. The first president who was died in the service, Zakir Hussain, Muslim president Zakir Hussain, and the second president of India who died in his service, Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad. So generally, our president of India performs powers. They are general powers and emergency powers categorized. So these are important powers of the President of India. So Article 52 speaks that so there should be President of India according to Constitution. It deals about the first citizen. So that is highest honor, and he was first to know. We should know the eligibility criteria of the President of India. What kind of eligibility criteria he should have? He must be citizen of India. He should complete 35 years of age. And he should not hold any profit position in our country. And he should not commit corrupt practices and no crime record. There should not be any crime record to him. That is eligibility criteria of the President of India. Then only he will nominate. And duration of the President of India. Generally, President of India duration is 5 years. Yet no President of India removed from his service. Because the reason is they performed their responsibilities originally. That's why they were not removed from the service. That is duration of the President of India. The salary and allowances of the President of India. Generally, he receives annual monthly salary 5 lakhs per month. He receives salary 5 lakhs per month. And whatever services, hospitality and boarding, etc. he getting in our country. He getting all those facilities in our country. And our President of India, 3 rest houses in our country located. One is Rashtrapati Bhavan, which was located in New Delhi. And second one is Simha and Secunderabad. Second and third. So these are rest houses, president houses of our country. So election of the President of India. How we are electing our President of India? How we are electing? Generally, our President of India is elected through electoral college. Electoral college means Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and state legislative assemblies and union territories legislative assemblies. They are part in election of president. They also participating in these activities, election process. So generally, election conducted by Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India to Electoral College, and election procedure is proportional single transferable vote. Proportional single transferable vote. So, on the basis of this method, our President of India is electing. So that we should know. And now we discuss about the powers and the functions of the President of India. Legislative powers. So legislative powers means our President of India, he can call for the conducting of the sessions, and he can adjourn the house, and he can adjourn the houses, both houses of the parliament, either Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Either Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. He declared the dates of the sessions on the basis of the written advice of the Prime Minister and Cabinet Ministers. And he appoints two Anglo-Indians to Lok Sabha, and he nominates who are capable persons in art, science and technology and filmography and cinematography. So those who are having knowledge, able persons nominated to 12 persons nominated to the Rajya Sabha according to legislative powers of the legislative powers. So these are legislative powers. So, and also our President is the third house of the Indian Parliament. He was treated as the third house of the Indian Parliament. Nothing more than that. So Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and President. Without assent of the President of India, no law can be made as law or act. No law can be made as law or act without assent of the President of India. That we should remember. And now we come to the executive powers of the President of India. Executive powers of the President of India. Executive powers. So, executive powers performed by the President of India, mainly Prime Minister advice and Union Cabinet Ministers advice, written advice according to 44th Constitutional Amendment. 44th Constitutional Amendment. He performs these executive powers. Mainly, he appoints Prime Minister who are having full majority in the House of the People. He was elected as the Prime Minister of India, and he appoints Cabinet Ministers also, and he appoints Comptroller and Auditor General. He appoints Supreme Court Judge and High Court Judge and other judges of the High Courts. So they were nominated through judiciary system, but appointed by the President of India according to written advice of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. And one more, he appoints Finance Commission for every 5 years. Finance Commission also appoints, and state National SC Commission Chairman and other members, National Women Commission Chairman and other members, National ST Commission Chairman and other members also appointed by the President of India. And also he appoints National Human Rights Commission Chairman and other members. National Human Rights Commission and other members also appointed by the President of India. And he appoints governors of the state. He appoints governors of the states Lieutenant Governors of the state. These executive powers performed by the President of India. Then again, we will discuss about the financial powers of the President of India. Financial powers. What kind of financial powers exercised by the President of India? So, without prior permission of the President of India, no budget can be introduced. No financial bill can be introduced in the house of the people. In the house of the people. Generally, so financial bill must be introduced in the house of the people only. House of the people only. Our President can give budget speech. Budget speech. Budget speech. And also, he conducts the joint sessions of the bills, whether general bill or financial bill. When there is mutual adjustment. Mutual adjustment. He conducted three times joint sessions. 1962, 1961 Dowry Act, 1978 Banking Services, 2002 Quota Act, Prevention Detention Act. So these joint sessions conducted by the President of India. So because there is no mutual adjustment of the President of India. So that's why he conducted. And other financial powers, Finance Commission and other members also, and he submits CAG report in the House of the Parliament. He gives budget speech, etc. These financial powers exercised by the President of India. And judicial powers. He appoints generally Supreme Court judges, Supreme Court Chief Justice, High Court Chief Justice, and other judges also appointed by the President of India. And according to Article 143, he can seek advices from the judiciary system. So when it was required, there is internal struggle, internal revolution. In this movement, automatically he receives advice from the Supreme Court. And also, he can pardon, he can retrieve, according to 72 article, he can pardon, he can retrieve any punishment regarding to the judiciary. These are judiciary powers of the President of India. And also, President of India, he will appoint Auditor General. So to get advices, legal advices, so and diplomatic powers. President of India, he appoints diplomatic powers. So he appoints ambassadors in the foreign states. So he conclude and he try to maintain cooperative and better relations with foreign states. He conclude with agreements, peaceful agreements, and he receives orders and representations from the various embassies. So these are diplomatic powers, and he can visit foreign states and he can conclude with agreements for the development of the state. And military powers. 3 armies under control of the President of India: National Army, and Navy Force and Air Force. 3 Chief of the National Army, Chief of Navy, Chief Marshal, and Chief Admiral, Navy Force. So they are also appointed by the President of India. So he can declare war based on the written advice of the Union Cabinet, and he can conclude war. So these military powers also can exercise by the President of India, and emergency powers also can exercise by the President of India. They are so Article 352 and Article 356 and Article 360. So a national emergency. So this was utilized by the President of India 3 times, and a state emergency. This was the most misused article in our country. It was treated as like dead article. Most misused article by the Union government. It is called as dead article. These are powers and functions of the President of India.